This is That Comic Smell podcast, featuring your hosts
Fernando Pons,
Giuseppe Lambertino,
Mike Sadaka,
and Tom Stewart, with special guest Allan Lawson.
Not real striped, is it?
rightly so.
Yeah,
Rightly so.
You're right.
How are you? What are you
Alright.
making?
What can you smell?
Smell food. I don't know why you're smelling there.
Giuseppe,
Hi.
Allan,
Hi, Allan.
Giuseppe.
Nice to meet you. Giuseppe.
How are you, bro?
Close your eyes.
Yeah,
See if you can tell from the smell.
How are you, bro? Frittata?
Tortilla.
Tortilla?
But I'm not trying to step on any Spanish toes.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? It's just I love it so much that I can't help but.
This is gonna be delicate.
It's got an Italian twist to it. I've done it with Cabo Nero inside.
Okay, well that's fair enough. I'll lay you off in that case. I forgot to bring your DVD. I had it at home.
Don't worry about that.
I was so annoyed. 'Cause
No.
I was like, no!
Nando,
I got the back and I go, no!
Nando,
But I watched it, it was really good. Really good.
You can keep it for as long as you want. Do not
No,
worry.
okay,
No
don't worry.
major rush.
But it was very good.
I lent Nando the film Che with Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Spain Manuel Rodriguez graphic novel about Che?
Yes, I've got it through in the other room just there.
Right,
Yeah,
that thing.
yeah.
He died 2 years ago, prostate cancer, and
I did not know that.
I corresponded with him, a really nice guy, and I could have met him when I was in San Francisco for one of the Californian indie events. I make Indian motorcycles. I run an Indian club with a friend of mine, and he said, "Oh, he's just a couple of streets over. We should go round there." I'm staying with this guy in San Francisco, but then there was just so much to do organising this event that it never happened, and damn it.
Jeez.
And then he's gone.
Yeah.
In
I
fact,
did not know that. That's,
I think
that's
it
a shame.
came out late last year, but Zap number 16 has his very last strip. And you know it's his very last strip, full colour, because the last few panels go from colour to black and white to just pencil sketch.
Oh.
Basically, he did a Dudley D. Watkins.
Jeez.
And died at the board.
Wow. That's mad.
I'm looking for a non-dog place to put this, so.
Come here. Alfie.
Stick it over here. Okay, it's not a blind bit of notice.
Alfie's quite happy to stay here.
I can smell goodness.
Yeah. There's food, there's people, what's going on?
He wants to read comics, that's what he wants.
That is what he wants.
Chewel, maybe.
Before we get started, I've got my t-shirt show. I've probably
Oh yeah,
shown
you've got
some
to
of you
show
guys.
us as usual.
Some of you guys. And seeing as we've got a Canadian here,
Oh, well. Captain Canuck.
nope. They translated this in Canada and
The
Vancouver.
Mysterious Cities of Gold. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I remember that comic series,
That was an
yes.
excellent series.
The TV series, yes.
But they
Is it Japanese? It looks Japanese.
It was
it's
animated by Japanese, but it was commissioned by Spain and France. But when it came over to Britain, because a lot of British kids found, or the British audience found US Americans a bit too full on, and a lot of US Americans couldn't understand the British accents. They saw Canada as a halfway house, so they used the translating studios in Vancouver. And funny story is he's not pictured on the t-shirt, but there's a character called Mendoza who's like the anti-hero, and they had to get 4 people for each character to voice them, and then they send the recordings into Japan, and the Japanese choose who they think's the best one, even if they don't fully understand what's been said. The voice is what matters.
Just
So
how
they
it
had-
kind of sounded.
Yeah, well, they had 3 people for Mendoza. They couldn't get anyone else, so the voice director said, "All right, I'll just do a piss take one." So he gave his voice, and they said, "You're bang on target. We
That's
want
the
to do
one.
that." Yeah.
done.
Fantastic.
Yeah, if I'd known, I'd have brought my T-shirt. It's done like Tintin.
Alright.
Only I bought it last year. I went to Denmark and Sweden to see old friends of mine. I bought it in Christiania in Copenhagen, and it's got Tintin, Captain Haddock, the Thompson twins. Captain Haddock's got this great big spliff going. But it looks, just like Haddock.
Yeah, just...
And I had to, as soon as I saw it, I got to have one of those. That was pretty funny.
Right, Giuseppe, Vertigo Comics.
Yes.
What was your topic?
Oh, right, yeah, it was. Where's my sheet?
Well, I can give
Where's my sheet?
a brief thing.
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah, you go
Go
for it.
over there, Giuseppe, by the kettle.
Vertigo, being an imprint of DC Comics, was created in 1993 according to Wikipedia. 83. See, there you go. Wikipedia, again, idiots.
Was it 83?
I thought it was 93 as well.
It's
I thought it
93.
was much later than 83, yeah.
93.
Yeah.
It was 93.
93. Yeah.
What
Because
was
the Watchmen
was
would
just-
have been Vertigo if it
was DC.
was around, yeah.
Yeah, and the V for Vendetta was written in 85, I think.
Yeah, but there's a question here. We'll go in a minute.
Okay.
Because there's many comics reprinted now under the Vertigo stamp, which they were not Vertigo
They were
comics.
pre-Vertigo.
Oh, right.
yeah.
They were
Right.
pre-Vertigo. Yeah, they were probably the proto-Vertigo comics, and probably inspired to do that imprint, but they were not Vertigo comics. One of them, for example, Something by Alan Moore.
Yeah.
You go to the libraries now, you find them, and it's Vertigo. It wasn't, because Vertigo did not exist when Something
It
comics
kind of happened
written by Alan Moore was
between
written
the
down.
series, didn't it? During the series, it happened. I think that it was launched.
So, because there's few of them, and
Yeah.
V for Vendetta was published first here in Britain, in one of the magazines, as far as I'm aware, before it was actually printed in America.
Yeah, I've got some of the first printings of that, but I've got the
So that's what
collection
it is.
too.
And there's a couple of cases like that. But what was the first Vertigo comic, though?
Yeah, I saw it. I looked it up today. It was
Was it Hellblazer?
no. I think what they did was they. Oh no, it was a mini series that kicked it off.
Was it Black Orchid?
Oh,
Could
you
it be?
might be right about that.
Maybe.
Could it be that one?
I can't think
Because
of it.
I mean, Karen Berger, she was the editor of this line, and she was kind of the godmother of all these lines, and she got in touch with a lot of the British writers and artists that were already publishing. Some of them already in America, for example, Alan Moore, who written the Something.
Oh yeah.
And then more people came in through, like Neil Gaiman and then Grant Morrison and
Brian Azzarello.
Brian Azzarello, yeah, different artists. So, and she is slowly, even all the editors in DC, they were saying, well, this is going to be one of Karen's comics,
Yeah.
On you go.
Yeah.
And then the Vertigo comics appear, yeah. But I think Black Orchid could be one of the first ones, because I wasn't sure it was Sandman was already a Vertigo comic,
Well, that was
or Hellblazer. I wasn't sure if it started. What was there?
as far as I know.
No, they started as DC.
And
I think.
then they went and made a
It's
Vertigo imprint.
because more of DC's adult content wasn't in line with the CCA, the Comics Code Authority. So they needed to make an imprint so that they could produce stuff that could be 16, 18
channeled through
plus.
there,
So it could be more violent of sex, of more sort of social commentary and whatnot on the go, and could have more adult language, all these sort of things. But that was the point. It was that DC were really struggling with that and needed to have an imprint.
Realised they had an audience.
Yeah,
for it
realised
too.
they had an audience.
But wasn't Karen Berger the
Karen
original
Berger,
editor?
yeah. Berger or Berger, I don't know.
But
What's going on, right? Yeah.
as we'd said some of the titles there, but some of the top titles that obviously they're all in graphic novel form now, but they include Sandman, Preacher, Why the Last Man, Fables, V for Vendetta, iZombie, Stardust, 100 Bullets, Animal Man, Grant Morrison run, DMZ, Hellblazer, Scalped, Saga the Swamp Thing we said was collected into that Transmetropolitan, Lucifer to name a few. Anyway, there is a big massive list of more of them, but we'd be here forever if we were to say them. But that's some of the more titles that have been wrapped up. Some of the more current titles would include American Vampire, Astro City, Unfollow, or Sheriff of Babylon. That's some of the newer ones. That's that Tom King one that's all about. I think this isn't it the CIA? Is it all his time in the CIA? Sheriff of Babylon.
Yeah, something like that.
It's all his stories from when he was in the CIA out in.
I think but these are they graphic novels?
They are.
I think a series of graphic novels instead of actual comics.
Yeah. But that's some of the more recent Vertigo titles. There's not really a whole lot more I can say on it. This will probably be more covered in the conversation as we're going through. But there's also a whole host of artists, as we said as well, and writers and whatnot, such as Allan, Grant Morrison, Brian Azzarello, Brian K. Vaughan,
Warren
Ellis, yeah, Garth Ennis, yep, Neil Gaiman, there we go. What's the other?
I think they're really lucky at the start with what they had crop-wise.
Kurt Busiek as well. So.
They were lucky.
Yeah.
The calibre that they had is what defined them, I think, at the start as an imprint. I was lucky I got onto them after my kind of enforced hiatus whilst I was in Italy, and I couldn't get hold of anything, and I wasn't reading any of the Italian style fumetti because I hadn't been brought up with that. So I wasn't keen to read it, even though now I would be. Then I was looking for Marvel and DC stuff, which I couldn't get there. And then only when it was about a year before we returned in 1990, they started publishing little kind of black and white translated Punisher, X-Men, not many, Spider-Man. So then after that, when I came back to UK, I think it was maybe 1 or 2 years where I didn't really read, maybe a year, and then I got back into comics, and then it was like, ooh, what's this stuff? And the first stuff I came across was Vertigo stuff. I wasn't really interested in anything, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. So the three were Shade the Changing Man, Sandman, and Hellblazer. And I was like, fucking hell, these comics are good, aren't they? But the only one I caught from the start was Shade. So I've got nearly a complete run of Shade. But I think that's volume 2. I believe there was a Shade the Changing Man from before, they've used before, or it might even be a volume 3. I think it may even be the 3rd incarnation.
Was it Peter Milligan?
Yeah.
Changing Man?
Yeah. I must admit, I didn't understand a lot of what was going on.
So it was Peter Milligan,
Have you read it?
Chris Bacalo and what was the
artwork was
Bacalo
amazing.
and can't remember his name now. Very similar to it.
But I think there was a lot of cultural references in it which I didn't get as an 18-year-old or 17, 19s, around that age, which I think Shade would probably be something that if I reread now, I'd probably get a lot more out of it than when I did the first time. Yeah. And then there's a Sandman. It's like, whoa, this is brilliant. And Hellblazer, I was like, you know, this is good. Then after that, I was like, oh, yeah. And then university came. Cash was short. Stopped buying comics again when I was at uni. And then the next wave I got, because Vertigo had kind of established itself in my head in terms of it being a kind of a trustworthy...
Yep. And established itself in general
imprint,
as well.
Yeah. The next lot of stuff I came across was Preacher, Transmetropolitan, Fables, Jack of Fables, and Exterminators. And
Exterminators, yes.
And I really liked all of them. Bought all the Preacher from one guy, John Lott, on eBay. All the issues.
Wow. Issues, not...
All the issues, yeah. Got them at quite a good price, actually. I think I got the whole run for 80 quid. which
Steel.
isn't bad,
Yeah.
but I'm not quite sure how many there are. I think there might be 60 issues for Preacher. Something like that.
There and thereabouts, yeah.
I think it was a
I
case
don't
of the missus was like, dude, you got to shift all these comics out of the way. So he was wanting to get shut quick. Box it arrived in it, right by post. It was one of the biggest things I've ever had arrive at really. And so much fun as well.
Get file cabinets from car boot sales cheap.
Yeah.
They're great. I got
Yeah.
6 of them packed to the gills. 4 drawer file cabinets.
Stacked
This
high.
deep.
But they were that early Vertigo stuff I got in was a real good way out, escape, the nature of it. Because I just wanting McGrew anymore or spandex stuff. This was like going in line with my life. Ooh, weird experimental stuff going on. Oh.
This was big boy trousers.
Weird, meeting weird characters in weird situations. Oh, that's kind of a bit like my life. So, but then the recent titles, I've not read any of them that you just quoted, but the more recent ones I've read, the Spaceman, which was like a 5-issue miniseries.
Yeah.
Federal Bureau of Physics. Art Ops.
Are these actual Vertigo titles?
Yeah, they
or
are.
These Vertigo offshoots? Because
No,
Vertigo offshoot.
No, they are Vertigo titles.
Right, cool.
So the more recent stuff hasn't really captured my interest, but I do have some cooking in the oven that I bought, and I'm just waiting to read. Which, see, I don't know what they're going to be like. I'm hoping some of them are going to be good, but amongst them are Greek Street,
Okay.
Crossing Midnight. I've got about the first 3 or 4 of them.
Fair
It
enough.
looked quite interesting with the Oriental theme. Dead Enders.
Okay.
Anyone read that?
No.
I bought the Books of Magic, the job lot off someone who lived near me.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to reading that. That's meant to be quite good. That's like
Yeah,
60
I read-
something.
I read
Not
some
to be
of them.
mistaken with the 4-issue miniseries,
They were
also
the
called
best
The
ones.
Books of Magic, which was completely unrelated to this. I think that was a DC thing before Vertigo appeared, but they were like high quality, high luster kind of pages.
Yeah, the first 4 were really good. You know, Harry Potter was somewhat derivative
Right.
from the original Books of Magic.
Black Orchid, bought that first few of Eyes on Me, which I know has been made into a TV series and that.
Yeah, that's a TV. What's that on again? Is that on CW or something like that?
think
it's CW.
Max, yeah.
Kid Eternity,
Oh,
Outlaw Nation, which looks interesting, but I've not read yet.
It's not bad.
Sandman Mystery Theatre and The Dreaming as well. I've got nearly complete run to them 2, which are waiting on the back burner when I get around to. I think them 2 will be good because they're kind of noir and weird and kind of the Sandman offshoots, aren't they? So that stuff tends to be.
Have you read that Overture?
Yeah,
Yes, the overtures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes,
That was good as well. The artwork was beautiful on that as well.
I've not made it all the way through, but it's.
So yeah, Vertigo for me brought me back in and gave comics a new, a different angle from what I'd experienced before. And it definitely kept my taste for them going, and stuff I could go back and read now and it'll still be just as good.
I think Vertigo itself, it was a really good platform for, let's say, the general public of readers
Yeah,
To
to
be
taste
able
something
to
else.
taste something different,
Yeah,
to taste what an independent created comic could be.
Yeah.
because I heard on Radio 4 today a woman being kind of saying it was a report on comics and something to do with how comics can help kids understand certain subjects better because of the graphic nature, and the woman was like, "Oh, so yes, they don't have to be funny and or costumed heroes." It's like, Are we still at that stage yet where
Yeah,
you're
forget about it.
surprised?
Yeah.
You're meant to be some kind of high culture radio station here, and you're surprised that there's comics that don't deal with just spandex.
Yeah.
Well, it's arguable that comics predate writing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And taking your point, I remember reading that they were trying to reach, in South America, these kind of orphan kids that had been more or less abandoned in the city, and they were prostituting themselves, they were smoking coca paste, which is like, the very cheapest form of cocaine. And they were dying like flies from AIDS, and the police would come around and just kill them, throw them in the sewers. How to reach them? They were illiterate even in their own language. You couldn't force them to look at a book. What did you do? You did comics.
Yeah.
Boom. They wanted to read them. They got the message across. Comics cut across all languages.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the Japanese style where you have comics that can be done for sportsmen or businessmen or pensioners. Apparently, if you've heard of Golgo 13, it's the one of Hitman Assassin. It's Japan's longest running manga. It's extremely popular with bankers and businessmen.
I like them categories. I like them categories then, but you forgot the and then there's the whole swathe of comics that are made for perverts.
Lots of that as well. Yeah.
If you've ever seen any Japanese undergrounds, turn your hair white. Some
Is
of
that
them
what
are really
happened
bad.
to you?
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
That and the boys.
You're about 25, really, aren't you?
No, the boys.
Boys wasn't Vertigo, was it?
Oh no, that was Dynamite.
That was
That
Dynamite.
is it,
Dynamite.
I remember
Boys, yeah.
you'd come to the bottom of the page, you go, no, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You'd have to take a couple of breaths, turn the page, and go, oh, Jesus!
Yes, they did.
Actually, yeah, Boys is kind of like a Vertigo title, but it'd probably even be too much for Vertigo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah.
Dynamite, that was...
And anyway, they'd be kicking themselves in it. It'd be like, showing the boys to be the boys and what the superhero dudes get up to. It'd be like, well, Vertigo's basically kicking DC in the bollocks by saying, oh, you see all these characters in the DC universe? Imagine them doing this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
I ended up getting a full run of Hellblazer. I loved it so much.
A full run.
Yeah, so I ended up
100,000.
collect 300.
I got all of them.
I ended up I basically started again at a certain point and then did it monthly. And then the gaps that were missing, I like raided George's and other places, and then a few that were missing that were hard to get, basically got online and kind of filled the. I was a bit disappointed with how it ended. And I'm disappointed that now they're trying to
With Constantine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the same...
They should have never finished it. That's the thing. They should have been going.
That's what they said about Sandman!
They decided to put him.
Then bring him in the
When
DC
they did
universe.
the New 52, they decided to put him integrated into the DC superhero universe. Which, fair enough. Actually, he started there because he was a secondary character in the Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing, not Sandman. Yeah.
Because it was created by Alan Moore, and he wasn't a secondary character there. And at that time, the Swamp Thing was in the classic DC universe. But so much has happened since then. Is there really any need to bring it back again?
Exactly. I mean, there's no need. It's like that Justice League Dark, where he's with a few other supposed dark things.
I thought one of the things that Constantine kind of made him stand out is that he ages, and they were going to come to the point where he's going to get so old that he can't continue on unless he has some sort of outrageous deal with demons. Well, he was going to be mortal, so I think that was one of the original plans, was to eventually kill him off when he reaches a certain age.
They did do a future offshoot. A 4-issue miniseries.
They did a miniseries of old Constantine.
Called Bad Blood, yeah. Mm-hmm. And got all the offshoots
I think it was.
Jeez.
Which aren't that many, actually. There's Chaz the Knowledge, which is like a 4 or 5 issue thing, which is about his mate who's a taxi driver, Chaz.
Alright.
The London Cabin. Bad Blood, which is him set in the future. There's a few independent graphic novels, actually, which aren't from the comics.
Oh, really?
There's one called
Yes,
a
there
black
is.
and white one called. It's where it's like Big Brother. He's in a Big Brother house.
And there was one that Rankin.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
What's it called? Yeah, Rankin did it.
Which was kind of a surprise. But
Yeah. All His Engines is another independent one. In graphic novel, but yeah, I loved that character. And then it ended. I loved that run where basically was doing like either the artwork inside it or the covers for Hellblazer. Simon Bisley.
If you go on YouTube, type in Constantine and then the name Can, as in the French musician Allan Can, who disappeared in 1990. It's basically a tribute to Constantine, but whoever's done it has used images of lots of covers from the comics. So there's loads of them. They don't have any of the text on there. The person must have just gone on the internet and just like copied each of these, and then he just played them again and again. And the sound of the music is fantastic because it matches everything that's on there. And some of these covers are so good, you wonder how no one's decided to put them up on an art gallery and made them travel.
Very good.
These ones don't actually compare. I mean, I know these are pretty good covers, but compared to the ones
Yeah,
they have on
Is that not Glenn Farby?
That's
Yeah.
where he looks like Sting. Oh yeah, he did some covers for Preacher, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in Glasgow last year, there was at the School of Art they had a thing of Frank Whiteley, and it had one of his the Endless Family, and I thought, and I'd seen it before, and I thought it would be done something like this. It was smaller than this TV screen.
Really?
It was. He must have glasses like Coke bottles. Single hair brush. It was amazing to just see the original artwork and the detail crammed in to this small space. It really surprised me.
I think Quietly's an anomaly all on his own, though. He's just
he's
so talented. So talented.
Yeah, I think he was at the Dundee Comic Convention a couple of years back.
Yeah. He was, yeah.
Oh, Flex, yeah, that's one of it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of
Flex Montallo, yeah.
Flex Montallo,
Is that a Vertigo title?
Yeah, that's Grant Morrison. Is that not an offshoot?
Was that a comic?
the Doom
Doom
Patrol.
Patrol, yeah.
Ah, was it right?
That's a.
Was that comic first and then?
Yeah, four issue miniseries. And
Yeah.
they did this edition in a hardback just 2 years ago.
I read it. I
And
thought it
they
was quite
put new
funny. I
colour.
think his
Put a new
outfit's
colour,
like-
But
Hero of the Beach.
I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
yeah,
I can't stand the writing.
the story not so much, but the
Grant Morrison, I think Grant Morrison,
art is amazing.
tries too hard. I think he intentionally tries to go out of his way to confuse people, but instead of just confusing them, it just makes it nonsensical, and you end up sitting looking at it going, "What was I meant to take away from that?" Like I don't understand what your underlying. Even if you do understand it, there's no.
You still don't understand it.
There's no great basis. I'm not sitting thinking this is the best piece of writing I've ever seen.
I think he's done some really good things, but yeah, I agree with you with others that he kind of get lost on trying to use the comic as a medium to try to do something different, and in doing so is losing part of the message.
He is a guy who works best when constrained. So when he is at something like DC working on Batman or something like that, where there's certain constraints that he can't go past.
Yeah, where they'll tell him.
Yeah, like take this bit out, it doesn't make any sense, something like that. That works because he has to write a coherent story from start to finish, and there's no messing about. And he's a good writer in that sense. When he gets left free rein, he jumps from pillar to post. You can't keep up, and it's too much, too clever. It's not clever as far as I'm concerned. It's just
When
what he
he did the revival of the X-Men for Marvel
yes,
with Frank Wiley,
yes,
I thought that run was great. It was really, really good, and it was a true revival. Although I think some Marvel bosses say that he nearly killed the franchise. I totally disagree. The look of those X-Men, the way that they feel, you know,
Like Happy Mondays and Factory
they felt more modern, more according to the times. And in fact, the films are taking a lot of bits from that part of the story of the X-Men. But yeah, I felt at that time there was constraint and structure. Okay, it was certain free reign to do, you know, whatever he wanted to do. I thought it was a really good run. It was a really good.
Doesn't Morrison and Moore supposedly have a bit of a feud going, or did have one? Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody know what started that off?
Probably crossed wires. That's probably what it was, and now it's turned into something that it shouldn't have.
To be honest, I really don't know, because you hear rumors or you read that Grant Morrison tells the story, and then Alan Moore kind of even doesn't go like that. I don't know, some sort of disagreement in a certain way. I don't know exactly. I don't know, and in the same way it happens. The curious thing is, there is this fight between Alan Moore and Grant Morrison, because Alan Moore was established writer in DC. He was big. He was doing it, and then Morrison was coming in. But then at the same time, Grant Morrison did the same with Mark Millar. Mark Millar, you know, was his second, and they have a fight as well, and then they talk to each other now anymore.
Really?
So I don't know what's going on, and to be honest, it's just whatever. Yeah, I like the comics. I like to read them. Whether they like each other or they have fights, I mean, that's up to them.
Yeah. I think it's maybe just. It's a simple thing of
handbags.
Maybe clash of egos, of some
handbags
sort.
at dawn.
And the handbags at dawn, It will be. It'll be something very pitiful, and it's escalated into something ridiculous where they've ended up
very
slating each other's work or something like that. You know, it always starts off as something so petty, and then ends up with, oh, he doesn't like this, he doesn't like that, blah blah blah, and it's just back and forward. That'll be all it is. It'll be something along those lines. It's just ridiculous.
Fables, nah.
Invisible.
Yeah. I read that.
Have you read
I
the whole
struggled
series?
understanding some of it.
Have you read the whole
Maybe
series?
a lot of it. How many is there?
Which one is that? Say Wants a Revolution?
That's the very first one.
How many collected?
Yes, Say You Want a
8,
Revolution.
maybe 7, 8 books
Oh no, I don't think I've read all of them.
in total.
I struggled a bit.
Some of the stories are really good.
Yeah, big time.
The whole story is good,
So I didn't enjoy it.
but some of the bits now they haven't aged very well. You know, at that time, they were good.
In what way?
It's just the scene, the meaning, the look of it.
All right.
These when they came out, this was pre-Matrix.
Yeah.
And the Matrix film, there are certain ideas and other things from the Matrix film. Actually, they were already in this book.
But which were also part of Buddhist philosophy and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By that time, for example, Grant Morrison, he traveled to the Far East.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because I saw that documentary made, and that was not long after getting back into reading comics. And I was like, who's this fella going on about? He was basically he was making out. He was like God wanted. What was it called? Supermen and Super Gods or something. There was a book that went with the documentary. And he's on about him tripping in the Far East and stuff. Yeah.
So he's in the Far East and he kind of
Trips out.
immersed himself into that and experimented during that period of time, whether in the Far East or here. Experimented with alcohol, experimented with drugs, experimented with all things. I said, well, let's see what happens here. Let's see what tries. And but the Invisibles. There's a lot of interesting things in the whole series. There's interesting theories as well regarding science and how we see life and existentialism and religion and what's real and what's not real and is time real and how the concept of time as well. There's many things. There's many themes and topics going through. But if you read it now, not all of it has a standard time, the pass of time, I think. But overall, I think it's very enjoyable.
Because it's not even that old, though, is it?
No, this is from the 90s. Starting in the late 90s, early 90s.
Right.
So, but there's lots of different things going on there. There's always bits and pieces you can enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, the only thing I can really remember that stands out are them like guys in suits doing like cleaning of some kind, or maybe are they tiny and are they in dirt or something?
I don't know if it's in this one, maybe. But in the Invisible, there's many things going on, and he talks about different topics.
I don't think I've read
But
this.
it's an interesting. In one of the books, he mentions about time, and because there's a recurring thing during the books. There is things that happen in the past, things that happen in the future, things that happen now, and then in the end of the book, he says, "Well, what happens if time? There is no past, present, or future. Everything is now, but you can only experiment, or your brain only allows you to experiment the now. So, what then?" There's also the theory of it's not something you can just read. You have to be in the mood for this, you know. Yeah. But I like it. I like that other thing because it just, it makes you think in a different way. You know, there's a point on that. What happens? How would you express that?
Mixed up with
how come artists experiment with trucks and then suddenly they do
I've not read this.
really good works? Because are they pushing their boundaries? You know, are the trucks expanding their mind in certain ways? You know, and to see things that we don't see. So there's always these kind of things and experiment from that point of view. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not saying that all of it is good, but
no.
Overall, I think it's a good work.
I think you put it very, very well as well. It made me more interested than when I was actually reading it in the first place.
Well, thank you.
But at the same point, it's still that thing. It's just it's too much. Like that's not what I'm reading it for. You know.
No,
I want to be entertained when I'm
which
reading
is
these
fine.
things, you know.
But you see,
intrigued. Not
you see, I go beyond with the comics. I have comics that what I call this is popcorn.
I remember you saying. Yeah.
So I don't want to think about anything. I just want to. If it's a good fist fight with two superheroes, that's fine. Good art, couple of good lines there, good story. Yeah, that's fine. I enjoy that. But at the same time, I enjoy the Swamp Thing by Alan Moore or V for Vendetta, or it all depends on the mood. It all depends what I want to read that time. What it fits with me. What I want to enjoy at that moment. Because there's many things in life.
Yeah,
and there's many moments, and there'll be times that you want to enjoy some Marvel superheroes, and there'll be times you want to enjoy some Vertigo stuff or something else.
I very much understand that.
So I have,
so this Christmas, I wanted to reread that Christmas issue that you lent me the Christmas before.
Oh, the Marvel Age, yeah.
Because it was just a really nice Christmas comic.
Yeah, and it's just
like you said, a popcorn comic.
Yeah, it's just that. It's just something that you just enjoy. You just. Then that's it. You don't have to be embarrassed.
Have you read Doom Patrol? Has anyone read Doom Patrol?
Yeah, I've read some of those.
It's the guys in suits that go around in orange suits and like purple canisters on the back that go cleaning stuff. In that, I was thinking it was Invisibles and it's not.
The Doom Patrol. I haven't read the Doom Patrol of Morrison, so I don't know if that be there.
I think maybe the measure of, to my mind, of the best comics is you can go back to them and reread them. And you find stuff that you've missed.
Yeah.
The Watchmen is a perfect example. Yeah. And if you see the script that Moore wrote, like for one panel, and it's pages telling exactly, it must drive artists crazy because he tells them exactly what they've got to do. And that's what makes, I don't know how many times I've read The Watchmen, and it seems like every time I'll notice something else that I missed the first time around.
Go back and read again, yeah.
That's my problem with that though.
Is that you couldn't go back to it?
No, it's the fact that I have to. There's no, I want to go back to it and read it again and find something else. No, if I want to understand that fully, I have to go back to it and read it all again after having finished it to fully understand it. I shouldn't be forced to reread something because first time around you intentionally are not going to understand it, which is how he goes about writing. He says it himself. He actually goes out of his way to say it himself. I write so that you understand at the end and then go back and read it again to understand again. I shouldn't be forced to reread something again. I'm getting really passionate about this.
It's good to be passionate. It's good to be passionate, you know, because it's important for you.
I want to be able to go back and read it again because I want to, not because somebody else has dictated that I should to fully understand the point that's put across.
Yeah.
It's like the ghost of the shell of Vertigo.
Yes, it is. But it's just, I just find them too much.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
And this is Morrison, you mean?
Yeah, Morrison. Yeah. But
yeah.
the Invisibles was the one that tipped me off to that whole thing. Was I started reading the Invisibles and was just
What, to
not.
Vertigo?
Yeah, no, with Morrison.
Right.
Was the point that I was reading it and going, I'm really not understanding what's going on. And then it all started to kind of shape as it was getting near the end. But then I heard, in the same time that I was reading that, I heard an interview with him, and he said, yeah, if you really want to understand some of my books, you should read them first time through and then go back and read them again. And then you'll get the full understanding. I thought, no, I'm not succumbing to that. No, goodbye. No.
Fuck you!
Yeah. I'm not rereading because you tell me I should. No. Yes.
You got to do it because you want to,
Yeah,
and you know
because
there's more.
yeah,
good
exactly.
It's the gift that keeps giving, though.
Yeah.
That's the book.
But yeah,
And you're getting your money's worth if it's making you read it 3 times to get a notion of what's going on.
Yeah. If I read it that one time through and feel that I'm kind of grasping it, and I go back and I read it again and fully understand it, does that make it any better or any worse?
I don't think it makes it any better than it was. It's just
Depends on the person, doesn't it?
depends on the writing.
Some people would like that it done in that way, where they get like a part of the jigsaw first and then they have to go back and reread it to get the full. But I'm kind of more in your camp where I'd like to understand the majority of it.
Yeah.
And then maybe go back and just fill in the box. But I get that with like David Lynch films. Yeah. I love them, but couldn't tell you what half of them are about.
But it's that thing. There's a whole thing of reading a story and not really knowing what's going on, and it all coming together at the end. That's fine, but the point coming together at the end and then still being like, "But I don't understand how that works." I have to reread it again, knowing this end bit to get the rest of it is just forceful. That's too forceful. That's forcing not an opinion, but that's forcing a way of reading upon you. That's you have to read it this way. There's no willingness behind it. You're not reading it on your own terms. You're reading it on their terms, the way they want to.
He likes to experiment from that. He likes to experiment how you gonna read the comic.
Yeah.
In many ways, and in some ways could be more successful than others, and with certain comics are more approachable than others. An example, for example, is We Three. I can get it with Frank Wiley. It's a much shorter series. Went for Vertigo.
Oh, I've heard good things about that.
The dog, the cat, the dog, the cat, and the bunny, which they scale. Have you not read that? We Three.
There's a picture in
Is that the one where they've been weaponized?
I've not read it, but I've heard really good things about it.
It's very enjoyable.
Right.
The way.
Yeah.
And it's a story. It's decompressed. He did it intentionally, so it takes the story goes in a different speed, more kind of like a manga. Lots of things. No, how is it? Lots of pages for just a moment of action. So there is that, and it's forcing you to look in that. And there's also Frank Wiley works very well with. There's a lot of experimentation with the panels, how things suddenly become 3D when it's impossible to be 3D because it's a 2D element, but you still. Oh, but that now it's just jumping across the panels to another one. So the fights and things like that. But yeah, he likes to experiment with things.
Think quietly and Morrison have had a few drinks together when they've
a few drinks and God knows what else, you know what I mean?
I'd say that they probably have
I don't know, but
long creative sessions.
With Grant Morrison, I mean, he likes the medium of the comics.
Yeah.
and he said that himself. He finds the medium like magic because he draws some pages, some sketches, then they become words, and then he passes that from Frank Wiley, who transforms the words into, again, drawings. And then those drawings are read by the reader, and then become words again. So it's just all this kind of this story, this circle. He likes this idea.
Maybe that's one of the
Going
bones
to
of
the
contention
metaphysical
with Alan Moore is because he views his art as magic making. So maybe there's a spat because
the
of
one
that.
thing
Who said it were magic first?
Well,
Alan or Grant?
it was Alan Moore.
Right.
That's for sure. Alan Moore was first, so for that. So yeah, it's so he likes that. He likes the premium for that. But I can also see and understand that a lot of people find it difficult.
Yeah.
And find some of his works are difficult. And to be honest, I don't enjoy all of the works, but The Invisibles, I have the whole series and I really enjoy it.
Right.
And it's something that every now and then I can go back and sit down and read it.
I don't like that he's got a Liverpool top on.
Sorry about that. Got killing, yeah.
He ends up being. Does he end up being like
compliment.
a weapons expert or some kind of bomb expert or something? The kid, the one that's introduced.
Well,
in
there's
the first.
many things
Well,
going on.
initially.
Yeah, because they don't have like a role, but
Yeah.
it's more complicated than that. So yeah.
Good.
Fables. Well, that's a Spanish edition.
I was going to say
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Ah,
That's a
that's
Spanish edition.
fabulous.
I've read all of those.
Yeah.
These are very enjoyable. Something
Kind of
completely different.
lightweight, but very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. But that's the thing. It's a lightweight worst. Well, no, I mean it's just much.
I bought the entire run of these.
So you got all the
in
fairy tales into a more modern
19.
taking and
Yeah,
very
it's
That's
enjoyable.
quite engaging, yeah.
Very engaging there. So there's many books of that. That's the very first one.
They've spun they've spun off into video games and everything as well.
Yeah.
There's all kind of things. Yeah,
There's a video game on the
Wolf.
Yeah,
Big Bad Wolf.
The Wolf Among Us.
Oh,
And
see,
it's,
he's the police detective.
yeah, it's a point and click adventure game as well. Actually, it's really good. It's
Okay.
really good. So it's not it's not running or fighting or anything. You've got to strategically get your way through it. It's good. It's really good. Yeah.
It's a Thorita. What's a Thorita?
That bitch. That little bitch.
Ese dujo.
That first one's
That
really
little
good.
bitch is
Really good on its own, actually.
That'll be the next trophy that's put on display.
So that's that.
Yeah.
And
9 to 5.
DNC
Yeah,
The
read
Insane.
all those too. They're good.
by Brian Wood.
Is it right?
Is Brian Wood the guy who did?
Northlanders.
No,
Brian Wood.
Orlando as well, yes.
Yeah.
Proof
I don't know.
with the Bigfoot who wears a suit. Travelling circus. Proof. You've not
I
heard of
don't
Proof?
No.
No, sorry.
No.
You
That
can't
sounds
do that
great,
one.
though.
Proof, yeah, I want to get all of Proof. I've read 2 of them. Proof.
Don't think
That might be Brian Wood. I'm not sure.
Let's have a look.
Demo, Channel Zero, Global Frequency, Northlanders.
I read a bit of Northlanders. That didn't do much for me. Was Northlanders a Vertigo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I've read the first 2 or 3 day paperbacks were really good, very enjoyable. About the Vikings and I like that thing though, kind of history style.
No.
No.
Alexander Grecian.
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 And the Grecian.
I
Proof.
don't
He wasn't
think
proof.
I've read any of those.
No.
This reminds me of the Hammer Horror Werewolf with Ollie Reed.
Oliver Reed, yeah.
Which was also
Werewolves
set-
of London, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's a coincidence that it was set in not the London one, but the coincidence that the one that Ollie Reed was in was set in Spain. And the funny thing is they're speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's one of those odd coincidences that's popped into my mind.
Yeah, Oliver Reed was pretty good as a werewolf, actually. He could do it pretty good without makeup, with that maniacal stare he was so good
Yes.
at. But the thing that bugs me about DC Vertigo is they publish your stuff. They own it forever. They own the international rights. They own the bloody characters.
Yeah.
And Moore must have been spitting feathers when they brought out that, what was it called, Before Watchmen?
Yeah.
God, that must have just frosted him totally.
It's quite strange that they would own all that, considering they're meant to be, creator-run comics as well. That was their whole basis, was that it was like character or creator-run. It was one of the two, but that's...
They're not creator friendly. In fact,
No.
there've even been strips I've seen that were like anti DC Comics, one where the guy from DC is wanting to buy a struggling artist's work, and they're like, oh, great, and we will own it, and the character in perpetuity. Football.
Well, one of the latest things that I didn't realize, and I know it wasn't published under Vertigo imprint, but recently, actually, at Christmas time, I got the gift of top 10.
Oh yeah.
Top 10. They've done the whole series in one book of top 10.
Oh,
Allan and
yeah.
that was originally published under
That wasn't a Vertigo.
ABC Comics under Wildstorm when it was an independent.
Yeah.
But then Wildstorm was bought by DC because Jim Lee, he joined with them, so he was the president of Wildstorm. And so this new edition of Top 10, it has the Vertigo imprint.
Oh.
Oh boy.
It's Vertigo imprint.
Wow.
Because when I got it, that's great. Vertigo? There was never ever Vertigo. So yeah, it's Vertigo imprint now. So now it's
They just start getting it all under the umbrella.
Yeah.
and it's a great comic series, that one.
Which
Great,
had nothing to do with
fantastic.
Vertigo at the start.
Well, no, it was under I think it's ABC Comics under Wildstorm when it was actually independent from DC. So there you are.
I've read Top 10. Is it?
It's like it's
Alan Moore, isn't it?
It's Alan Moore, the writer, yeah, and Jim has the artist, and it's kind of in this parallel universe where the superheroes, everyone has superpowers, and there's the police department, and they have superpowers as well. So they are the police for the superheroes, but they deal with drug dealers, rapists, murders, all kind of things going on, corruption. It's all happening. This is a police. Well, there are police stories like Hill Street Blues, for example, but in a superhero idea sort of thing. It's really good, really enjoyable.
Now available on the Vertigo back catalog.
And it's a Vertigo. So now if you buy it now, it's a Vertigo book.
Well,
and Alan Moore don't see a penny of it.
Maybe it shows how weak they are now in terms of how strong they used to be. I think the titles now are weak.
Vertigo line itself has lost a lot.
Yeah.
And part of the fall, and the reason, and thank goodness for that, is because Image Comics. Because Image Comics, the creators keep their rights.
Yeah.
And they are the owners of it.
Well,
and Image Comics, in the last, let's say, 10 years,
Put a lot
is the company who is publishing the most interesting comics.
Yeah.
And they are bringing out, and the quality is not stopping, and there are new things coming on, and more and more and more. To the point that the big two, Marvel and DC, once there's been some creators that done so Image Comics that be popular, they go and they poach them.
Oh yeah, they go get them, don't
They
they?
say, go and get them. Oh, we're gonna offer you this. Can you do this? Can you do the Avengers for us, or the Fantastic Four, or whatever? And then obviously they come back to Image and they do another works again. But yes,
They create something themselves and then go.
It's
like the Premier League footballers going to China for 1 or 2 seasons.
something like that, yeah. But I mean, many of them
They'll
come
go-
back as again.
Exactly. But
To do
they'll
their
go
own
get a nice payday at Marvel
And I
and
think
DC and then
it's
go
good,
back and
and
actually
it's,
do something.
it's good, and it's refreshing to see that happening. And there's a perfect example of it, and it's probably one of the most successful comics and that's been happening in the last 10-15 years, The Walking Dead. That is an Image comic, and it started with a very, very small black and white, pure paper issue Number one, I think was 15 years ago or so when it came out. Nobody knew about it.
Look at
The
it
Walking
now.
Dead. And look at it now. It's 160 odd issues and keep going.
Yep.
TV series. I don't know if it's
First
6,
issue's
7
like-
season already.
First issue's like 10 grand or something. like that,
Fantastic
wasn't it?
result of something that everyone was saying that the genre was dead. Horror. You know, that nothing
Well, it's zombie,
and the
isn't it?
zombies, you know.
Oh, it made the zombie franchise, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, it reinvigorated it,
And
didn't
Robert Kierman, and then Adler, and all the artists, Adler as well, they've done a fantastic job there because you're not afraid of the zombies. You are afraid of the people who is alive. Those are the scary ones.
But they've been driven to, yeah.
How they've been driven to the point where you are actually completely terrified. And what they show in just the extreme situations. And they ring true to you when you read it because you go, oh, yeah, why not? That could happen. Yeah,
That's what would
it's
happen,
an extreme situation, an extreme moment. You don't have time to think about it. It's, you know, and it's reflecting that. And yeah, I think it's an incredible success. And I think Image has done very well that they allow that to happen, and many artists have gone there and they've seen that success. They say, well, you know, it can happen. Why not? So, so well done. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
Kudos to Image.
I've got to admit, the last 2 graphic novels I bought have been Image graphic novels.
Yeah.
Volume 1 of Black Science and Volume 1 of Savage Dragon, which I know is a 90s title, but I only discovered quite recently, so I've been enjoying that.
Very different. Black science fiction, really good actually. And Savage Dragon, superhero theme from the 90s. But Eric Larsen, one of the original founders of Image, he is still doing that comic.
Yeah.
It's done over 200 issues already.
Yep. It's still ongoing.
It's a, you know, and you read comics of him and you pick up lots of things from Jack Kirby because he's heavily influenced by Jack Kirby. There's lots of things by him. So yeah, it's, 2 different things, but yeah, fantastic stuff. Very enjoyable.
I think with Vertigo as well, they started to lose a bit of wind as well when Karen Berger actually left.
Yes.
As well, and took some time off, and she ended up actually working on a title at Image for some time as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was 2013. She started working on something X. What was it called? Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. Something. I can't remember the first word. Something X, and what was that? But she was editor just on that sole project, but she wasn't across Image. And just the other day, she there was an announcement came out from Dark Horse that she is going to be doing a whole line of create her own comics across there called Berger Books. So she will have her own line across it.
Berger Books?
Yeah, at Dark
Very good.
Horse.
Berger Books.
I think it's just about time with Dark Horse that they did something that wasn't so...
Sounds like she's assumed a kind of identity
yeah.
of...
Like, come here, there'll be success.
But also maybe of a certain theme.
Yeah.
Certain kind.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
absolutely. Well, the thing with Dark Horse for so long, they've just been doing name titles, so like say license titles, sorry,
Comics.
License comics.
Star Wars.
They had the Star Wars ones for a long time.
They started with Aliens, Terminator, Predator,
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Then they later on they managed to get the Star Wars, and it was fantastic because you know they did the Star Wars really well when Camuncoli, and they've done lots of different things, licensed comics.
They've got like say Buffy and
Buffy as well,
Firefly and stuff like
that's
that.
as well,
Joss Whedon kind of things. But they've also what was the other one that they had recently?
Manga Mania. They started out they brought loads of.
But they've also got one of the most successful comics that there's ever been. They've got Hellboy.
Exactly.
You know, so there's Dark Horse has so much potential, and they've just kind of disappeared. So for just now, except from their licensed properties. which makes me think that maybe Karen Berger going over and doing her own line of comics, working with creators might actually bring a Vertigo type aspect to them.
That's a really good move by Mike Richardson, top boss of Dark Horse. And I think Hellboy again, fantastic comic series. Put Mike Mignola really as a modern comic book artist. He already previously worked for DC and Marvel, but great stuff. Talking about demons and again another horror comic, but it's mixed with adventure. There's humor. There's science fiction things they are going on. It's great.
And Dark Horse lets the authors keep their characters and everything. I'm a writer myself, and you've really got to insist on first-time serial rights. Like, okay, you get it this once, but it still remains with me.
Still remains with you. Yeah, definitely.
And I hope that DC Vertigo finally changes their tune on that, because the good writers and the good artists who think they've got a character with legs, or a series, with legs, that they don't want to let it out from under them. Because everyone must have seen what had happened to Moore with that dreadful movie in the League of Extraordinary.
Allan, I can tell you that DC and Vertigo, as long as Vertigo is under DC imprint, they'll never allow that.
No.
Because they'll open a can of worms that it'll be the finish, it'll be the end for them.
No.
They won't allow it.
But I remember,
they won't do it. They won't do it. Dark Horse is doing it, Image is doing it, and those are the platforms that you have to go really if you want to be published big in America and in a popular comic. But neither Marvel nor DC will do it. Marvel has an imprint icon, and they have print and they have published comics that are owned by the artists, but they only do it with top stars. Because in Icon they did Powers by Brian Michael Bendis, and they did Kick-Ass by Mark Millar and John Romita Jr. But these are big guys in American comic. These are big guys. Top star. You won't be able to go yourself, I have this. They'll go, no. But once you're famous, once you sold thousands of copies of your comic,
weight to throw around.
You come and we can print something. We can think about it. But it's DC Vertigo. Unfortunately, they won't. No, because they'll end up in a situation where they'll be against them.
I just loved that thing Moore said about how when they were wanting to do the movies, I guess the first one, I guess we watched, they were saying, "Oh, this is what we want to do," and he goes, "No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to stick to the story." And they're like, "Okay, we'll give you like 10,000 more." No, it's not a question of money, and they couldn't see that there was artistic integrity here, and they couldn't buy it, and they thought he was just putting this on so they'd up the price. So they kept upping the price, and finally he got disgusted and he realised, you can't talk to these people. All they understand is money. And he said, do what you bloody well want, just don't put my name on it. At least I own my own name. So that's it.
It's insane.
That's what happens, unfortunately.
It's just a shame that all, like you say, all integrity is just lost.
That's the whole Hollywood thing for you.
But it's a business. And as soon as it becomes a business, that's it. And you'll find business people and there's money people, and then you'll find artists. And they don't go together.
No,
it's like
and the difficult part is to find an artist who can understand about money, about business, or a business person who can understand about art. And those are the ones that are able to do something. But it's
just
would you say Fleetway Studios in London, would they be similar? Because they published a lot of work that eventually became Vertigo. And say, like Preacher, they published some Preacher comics, and Vertigo published them in the States. Are they the same? Especially since a lot of the same writers wrote for Fleetway Studios in 2000 AD, and Judge Dredd, and they went on to do.
Well, 2000 AD is the same. It's work for hire. So when you publish anything, when you do something in 2000 AD, 2000 AD owns your character.
All right.
You've got to avoid work for hire.
That is that. And you have all these artists and creators who created Judge Dredd and Nikolai Dante and many other characters and many other stories. They are not the owners. They are not the owners of that. It's 2000 AD. In this case, now it's Rebellion, which is the company who owns 2000 AD. But yeah, they are not the owners of the characters. So even if you publish something in 2000 AD, yeah, you'll be the creator and you'll be recognized as the creator, but you're giving your rights of your creation to them, and they can do whatever they want. From there, they can publish it, print it, give the rights,
the fucker 10 times,
do a film, comic book series, whatever.
And they'll probably do it badly, like when Hollywood decides some classic French movie. Oh, we can do a remake of that. No,
There's recent examples of this kind of. There's been some examples of this, how giving rights to the creators of characters, comics, and stories. In this case, we're looking into films, and not long ago, Jim Starlin, who is a comic book creator from. He created many things for Marvel in the 70s. He's done comics as well for DC. So he's a big star. And he was saying that he got more money for the appearance of a character that is based on a character that he created for a Batman story. I'm talking about the KG Beast, which is a character. Or the person, I can't remember his personal name, is a Russian super agent that appears in Batman vs Superman for just a few minutes. He got more money for that than for the creation of the Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thanos, etc., etc.
Because he owned the character.
He created Thanos. No. He didn't know the character for the KGB either. No, because he did that for DC. It was for a Batman comic. He doesn't know the character either. But Warner Bros. Recognized him and he paid him some royalties because they used the character in the film. On the other hand, Marvel are using Thanos, the big body that appears every now and then in the Avengers films and the superheroes. And there's going to be a big mega 2 films about the Marvel Avengers. And Thanos is the body, the main body. And Jim Starlin is not gonna get no even recognition, nothing. You know, it's kind of, you know, he was saying that. I said, well, you know, I'm getting lots of money for this guy that no one knows, that no one even knows that appears in the film because they cannot recognize it. And then you go Thanos, which is the big body, and this series of films from Marvel, I get a single penny.
And if it was 20th Century Fox, he'd have got nothing.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
DC and Fox are the same. I guess Fox News too. It's just a big conglomerate.
Rupert Murdoch enterprise, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, so that was that.
Is that your Vertigo stash then? Is that your Vertigo lot done?
My Vertigo?
Yeah, didn't you have another Vertigo?
That's just
Is that a collection?
It's just like a taster collection. It gives you the first issue of Death, Something, Why the Last Man, Transmetropolitan, 100 Bullets, and Life During Wartime.
That's
Books on Magic.
Yeah, that's enough true.
And it's just I bought it years ago because it was really cheap. It was $4.99.
Did it make you want to take up any of the issues that it's preview?
Well, I go and I started to read Transmetropolitan and some of the Gaiman, and then I got the whole series of Swamp Thing.
Right.
And I read some of Death as well, The High of Cost of Living. That was good. So yeah, it's a good taster, that one, because just
100 Bullets, pretty good too. I've read all of those.
It's a nice.
Look
Writer's
at that
got
lineup.
a great
Alan
sense
Moore,
of language.
Neil Gaiman, Warren Ellis, Brian Azzarello, Brian K. Vaughan.
Well, I went because
Just in 6 issues.
I bought that in Forbidden Planet. I bought that years ago, and I think I paid like £3 or something like that. It's a fantastic book.
This is the first issue of Transplant
Yeah. And how he looks like Alan Moore there. He looks like Alan Moore, doesn't he?
We haven't really considered the artists. We've been talking really about the writers, haven't we?
Yeah, the artists, yeah. I mean, we're talking about Frank Wiley, for example.
Oh, a little bit about Frank Whiteley, yeah.
The art was one of the things that got me early on in the Vertigo, especially for Sandman and not Hellblazer early on. The art, personally for me, got better with Hellblazer later, but early on in Shade, The Changing Man, and I don't know who the artist was. And,
Chris Bacalo.
Right. And in Sandman, although Sandman as well, I think
the very early Sandmans were
couldn't. I don't think the art matched the writing or what they were trying to say. But then eventually, I think they caught up. I think even just the covers used to get me wanting to buy them.
Oh, the covers, yeah.
The covers of Sandman. I was
that was
what's going on here?
Was it?
This guy. Oh no.
Dave McKean.
Oh, Dave McKean. Dave McKean. Yeah.
Yeah, he did Mr. Punch and a bunch of He great covers. Yeah, there's even been collections of his covers.
Yes.
But early on, I think the art was lacking a bit, and then it got.
Was it Ridgway?
It matched.
The very early
I think.
John Ridgway.
Not quite sure.
Could be. But yeah, I mean the arts again. There's been. With Vertigo, you had access to artists that were creating art that perhaps was not as accessible.
Or maybe didn't look what they thought people
as
wanted
commercial.
to look at.
Or didn't look as commercial. But again, it gave it a chance to show to people, look, there's comics that, beyond, the spandex and beyond all these big muscle guys, there's other things there too. And there's other styles that you can consider. And so that's...
David Gibbons, good for Watchmen. What was it for V for Vendetta, the artist?
David Lloyd,
yeah. I thought that matched the feeling very well. Sometimes, the writer and the artist just...
Did he colour in with... It seemed like he coloured in with coloured pencils. Did he do that for V for Vendetta?
No idea.
Because it was
I was
done
wondering if it was watercolour, but
no idea. I don't know. But certainly it matches the atmosphere of the book itself.
And he did some of the early Hellblazer too, I seem to remember.
Yes, he did some Dave Lloyd, he did some Hellblazer as well.
Yeah.
You must have it, you'll know.
Yeah, he has, but I couldn't tell you which.
Just about every artist and writer has had a go at
they are.
Hellblazer.
He had such a long run, and then people used to want to write for it because it was
Mike Carey
something different.
Doing the
Mike Carey, he's the writer of Greek Street.
Oh,
we
right,
mentioned earlier on, which I read the first book, which
is it not?
It didn't quite like it. There's something there I'm missing. I don't know.
Chris Weston is an amazingly detailed artist. He did Ministry of Space. I don't know if you've ever seen that. He did the first of that 2-part Enemy Ace, I believe. And he was really good. I mean, the artwork just jumps off the page.
I have a book, a graphic novel by Chris Weston, and it's something he did for Marvel afterwards, and it's called The 12. And it's about these sort of forgotten heroes or proto-superheroes. And it's interesting. It's very good from that point
And I
of view.
think he did Johann's Tiger in the War series. I think it was the first of the Garth Ennis War series, and it was Johann's Tiger. It was beautifully done too. Yeah, that Ministry of Space I'd recommend to anybody. It's like what a real Dan Dare might be like. Pretty unscrupulous one.
Good. Speaking of unscrupulous,
This
this is we're talking about a proto Vertigo comic And I reckon it's because of ones like this that they decided to create Vertigo in the first place. Even when it comes to writing words like this, I think Vertigo, they could probably publish the whole full word. DC, they had to sort of alter it.
Good.
Anyone that's not familiar with Lobo, he's like Lemmy on steroids.
It's fantastic.
An
Like
alien
who?
from
Lemmy?
another- Lemmy, yeah, just
Yeah.
like Lemmy.
Oh, I love Lemmy.
Look,
On steroids.
yeah, look,
Brutal.
that's what Lobo looks like. He's an alien from a planet where he slaughtered basically all his race, and he'll do anything for money. He's like a galactic bounty hunter. They put lots of comedy in it, lots of sick, twisted humour. But when it got transferred to Vertigo, they could go even further.
Was he ever in Vertigo though?
I'm sure he
I
was.
think
Yeah.
he's ever been in Vertigo. I think it's always been DC.
I thought he was there.
No,
But,
he's still within the. He's still within the
both universes.
He's still within the DC character pantheon in like the new 52.
Because his
and
very first appearance was Omega Man,
Uh-huh.
which was a superhero space comic book in the 80s.
Oh, I know he's.
I think it's Omega
he's,
Man number 3 or number 4, something like that. And then, he appeared. They did it on miniseries, and also he appeared in the Justice League.
Yes.
Season.
Yeah, next
Is it-
So he appears in that series. He doesn't appear in that first book,
Okay.
but he appears in that series later on. But it's a DC. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
I mean, he's been in lots of DC comics, but I was pretty sure he's been in a lot of Vertigo ones as well, so they could sort of up the ante with him.
I think all the Lobo comics, and I have quite a lot of them in Spain. I have some of here as well. But all of them I have are all under DC.
Anything else, or is that just?
Oh yeah, two Hellblazers. I chose these two because they kind of suit the Vertigo realm, where you have the main character in situations you wouldn't normally find a DC character. Constantine, he's homeless, he's downtrodden, he's been drinking a lot here. He's pretty much at the bottom of his where he can go. And there's one scene where he meets the king of the vampires, who's he's got everything going for him, and he's killed Constantine's friend, who he's met homeless, and in the end, Constantine kind of gives up. He said, the vampire says, "Do you want to become a vampire?" He says, "No, I'm not that low." And just at the last moment, I don't know if you know the backstory of Constantine, but in the early ones, he was very badly wounded, and Nergal, a demon, archdemon, gave him a blood transfusion to help him quickly recover. Because of this, he has demon blood inside him. So when the vampire bites him, he suddenly realises, what's that taste? And Constantine, he's got a second wind. He's like, demon blood. The blood basically evaporates the vampire, who in a very gory way is...
It's like peeing on him in the bottom corner.
Yes, Constantine then... now he has one up.
King of the friggin' vampires!
And
Nice
as soon as the
little
sun comes out, Constantine drags him right out into the sun, where the king of the vampires is just completely obliterated.
That's really nice looking.
Here's the peeing bit.
Looks like Steve Dillon.
Yeah, is that Steve Dillon?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
They're both Dillon.
Didn't he do Preacher?
Preacher, yeah.
Yep.
And Punisher.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he did.
He was pretty good with
That's a
Punisher.
different inker though.
Yeah,
That's a different inker.
This one was another one of my favourites. The individual here is the devil. The devil comes to Earth, searching for the not just Constantine's soul, but the angel Gabriel, whose heart is hidden away, and the devil actually gets the heart. And here he's actually got Gabriel kissing his shoes.
Oops.
And then
There was a bit of a trick there.
to end it off for poor Gabriel, he squeezes his heart, meaning that there's nothing that can save Constantine now. I'm not wanting to spoil anything, but he always managed to get away through sheer trickery. But sad thing is, Constantine's got a lot of friends who disappear throughout the series, and one of them is this guy. Devil punches his way through his church. He shoots him with machine guns, and it doesn't do any good. And then he ends it at the end to escape.
Sorry, Mike, but Dillon's face for the devil there is exactly like the Punisher. When he does the Punisher, that looks identical to
Steve Dillon's faces are all
they're all very similar, but that is like identical.
They all seem like they've all been in fights, so all the noses are flat.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And there as well, back there as well.
There's loads. Oddly enough, there's a character from Dundee in this.
Yes.
Yeah, Helen. Here she is. Let's see if I can get the Dundee.
He always tells. He's always forever telling birds that are interested in him. Sorry, ladies.
One of the hookers outside Waterloo here. She looks like this girl from Dundee I used to go out with.
All my friends end up getting killed. He's always telling people that.
Who was the other Scottish guy who was a friend of the Vic the Vicar? There's a conversation with him sitting with Hellblazer, and he's talking about, I wish I'd done this, wish I'd become such a fat bastard. And as it pulls away, you realise
this is
bulleted him.
This is him here.
He's ex-SES. Yeah, that's the one.
Hacker or header.
Yeah.
He's like the other characters. He's seen throughout the series. So in flashbacks you'll see him. But this is the issue where he dies. They even had a flashback where you see him in the Falklands War. He's fighting away, and he gets a call from Constantine, and he finds a way of getting back there. So him and his friends, his reoccurring friends, can trap a demon to help save them from some gang lord.
That's right.
It's for the gang lord's son.
Yes, I remember. Who gets the gang lord pregnant in the end.
Cheers for that.
Well, thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming, guys.
Much appreciated.
Come back, don't walk away. Come back today. Come back, what can't you see? Come back to me.
Continue to stay up to date with That Comic Smell on Twitter @ThatComicSmell. You can also send us any comments or queries at thatcomicsmell@gmail.com. To listen to our previous episodes or to follow us or subscribe, you can reach us at SoundCloud, YouTube and iTunes. Thanks for listening.